it's me again.
Oh, look how pretty that is.
Fun stuff.
Look, it's part. Oh, that is beautiful, Chef. Bon appetit.
Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to my kitchen. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home today, and I'm so excited to be partnering with one of our loyal sponsors, the Hershey Company. I've been working with these folks for years and we just have a wonderful relationship. We're going to be making 3 great recipes today. We're going to start with a candied bacon wrapped date that has a wonderful flavor. It's a great 2-bite size for an appetizer. You're going to absolutely want to use this for your next event. Then we're going to do a pan-fried chicken thigh with asparagus. The rub on this chicken with the Hershey's cocoa in it is phenomenal. And then a double chocolate stout cake. Guys, you are going to want this for your next birthday cake. It has a ganache icing. It is incredible. And then in Vera's Corner, I'm going to show you different things to do as a garnish with chocolate. We've got an unbelievable giveaway today. So let's get started on that appetizer with those bacon wrapped dates. I feel so scientific now with my mortar and pestle and all of these 6 ingredients laid out ready to make this fantastic rub that's going to go on this dish as well as the chicken dish that we're going to do next. So we're going to start with the ancho chili powder that is rich, it's dry, it's deep, it's got a great color. We'll start with it first. And then next is a smoked paprika. So we've got some major red going on here. But the smoked paprika, you know, really does have that nice smoky, so that with the rich, deep color in the chili powder is gonna be phenomenal. All right, now we've got cocoa. Hershey's cocoa is going in this rub. And so you thought that Hershey was just about sweets. So now you're gonna find out by virtue of this rub that this is gonna add a sweetness. It's also a richness to this that's really great. Now, oregano. What's a rub without oregano, of course? So this adds a little bit of texture. It's gonna look really good when you put this on the bacon and on the chicken. Cumin. Now, cumin is a very strong flavor. So if you're not a cumin fan, I would just leave this out. But if you do love it, it's gonna really come alive in this. And then finally, black pepper. So all of this mixed together is gonna go on the bacon that we're gonna wrap these dates with. I just love the way this rub looks, but not only that, it just smells fantastic. You can see the little specks of oregano. It's gonna be rich and good. You're gonna taste all the different flavors in there. I'm gonna put that with a few other things for this particular dish. All right, so ahead of time, I've cut my thick bacon in half, put it on a sheet pan with some parchment paper. You wanna cook it just enough so that it still is somewhat limp to wrap around the dates, but it is just an easy thing to do it in the oven. So the stuffing for these dates is a cream cheese mixture. So I've let my cream cheese come to room temperature. It's soft and easy to work with. And I don't know about you, but when I do an appetizer that has cream cheese, I want something in my cream cheese. I want to taste a crunch or just another flavor other than just the cream cheese. So I'm gonna add some toasted pecans to that. You know, just enough to give it a little just a little crunch when you bite it. And this might be a little strange sounding, but I also love almond extract in my cream cheese. So, you know, a little of that goes a long way. So I'm just gonna put just a drop of almond extract. And that flavor to me with a date will be really good. Oh, it smells so good too. All right, so on the dates, you can certainly buy the pitted dates. But these have pits in them, and actually I like them a little bit better because they're large. So you want at least a 2-bite size when you are doing an appetizer. So I'm going to just take my knife and do a nice slit on one side, just enough to open that up. And then right down in there is that pit. So you can just take that out, and then you've got a nice area to fill. So let's go ahead and do this other one. I've already done the rest. It's just really easy, and this just really reminds me of growing up. My grandmother used to stuff dates with pecans. All right, so back to what we're gonna dip the bacon in. So we've got the rub we made earlier. We've got cinnamon. So now we're adding cinnamon to that Hershey's cocoa, which is gonna be amazing, and brown sugar. And you can use light or dark, but you wanna make sure that you've just blended this really well. And I like to use a pie plate for this just because it gives you plenty of room to spread out. All right, so let's fill a couple of these dates. You've got your nice little area, and you don't want a heck of a lot, but you want enough that you can taste it. So about a teaspoon. All right, then close it back up. Now I'm gonna take a piece of bacon and I'm gonna drag it through this wonderful, this is what's gonna make it the candied part. So now we're gonna just wrap it around the date. And you wanna put it seam side down so it'll stick together. All right, so when we come back from the break, we're gonna get started on a chicken dish with my favorite part of the chicken, the thigh. We're gonna use the same rub, and you're gonna find a new chicken dish that you're gonna absolutely love. So come back with me in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I'm partnering today with the Hershey Company. They're one of our overall loyal sponsors of the VeryVera Show, and we're making some savory recipes today using Hershey's cocoa. So during the break, I got those delicious cream cheese and pecan, almond wrapped, bacon wrapped dates out of the oven. If you are looking for a great appetizer coming up, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, you might be having friends over, I really recommend that you try that recipe. And as always, our recipes are available on our website at VeryVera.com. All right, so now we are going to start this chicken thigh dish. If you're looking for a new chicken dish, this is it. So I've got a pan that's heating up over here. I'm gonna add in some butter, a little bit of olive oil, and garlic. So this is for the asparagus part of this. So we're just getting some good garlic butter going. I'm just gonna let that be on kind of a low heat for a few minutes while we get started on the chicken thighs. All right, so in my Lodge cast iron skillet, I've got a little bit more olive oil. And usually you love the part when I put the chicken in the pan and it starts making all this racket, popping and searing and everything. On these chicken thighs, the best way to cook them is slow, low, let that heat go through, and they're still gonna be so crispy on the outside. So that rub we made a few minutes ago that we used on the bacon where we added the cinnamon and the brown sugar, this is just the rub this time. And I've got my chicken thighs in a bowl. So now I'm just going to coat these like crazy. Just take my tongs and just really just get these things just going in this wonderful rub. And again, I can smell the cumin, I can smell the smoked paprika, the Hershey, you're gonna get that little bit of sweetness. And when this skin on these thighs gets nice and crisp, you're gonna be able to taste every bit of that flavor. Just a little bit of oregano in there that you can really see. So what we're gonna do here, as I said, I've got this on a medium heat with a little bit of olive oil. So let's just put these in the pan. You hear a little bit of sizzling, but not much. So my pan is just right. And we'll let those cook for a few minutes while we go back to the asparagus. Tell you, there's nothing like a seasoned Lodge skillet, especially when it comes to doing something like this. All right, so let's go back over here to the pan with the butter and the olive oil, garlic. I mean, if you want to make your husband happy, then put a little bit of bacon in the oven, which we just had, and a little garlic in a frying pan, and you're good to go. All right, so what we did ahead was we blanched this asparagus. So the easy method to do this, so you're not looking at all of these different pieces of asparagus, is just to take your knife, cut off the ends about 2 inches, and leave the rubber bands on it. You're gonna put that down into some boiling water, and then you're gonna let it stay for about 45 seconds. Once that has come to a boil, you're gonna put it directly into an ice bath. And now look what you have. You've got just the perfect limpness to this asparagus. It's bright green. It's gonna go great. I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt and pepper to this, and we're just really just sauteing these to get them warm. So we've got a little bit of cooking to do during the break, and when we come back in Vera's Corner today, I'm gonna give you some unique garnish ideas for chocolate, for your chocolate desserts, and then we're gonna get started on a stout chocolate cake that is rockin' great. So come back with me in just a few minutes. Chocolate is not only great for eating, but with a little creativity, it can make a beautiful presentation. Today I'm going to show you a few easy ways to do just that. Let's start with a chocolate swirl design. On a piece of parchment adhered to a spinning cake stand, pipe melted chocolate, starting at the center of the parchment paper and moving your piping bag slowly outward to create a spiral. Allow to cool and harden, then carefully remove and place on your dessert. To make a chocolate nest design, pipe warm chocolate into cold water. Remove, allow to dry, and place on your dessert. For a chocolate bowl, lay a piece of cling wrap on a flat surface and pipe a solid spider web shape. Slide a shallow bowl under the cling wrap, then allow to harden. Finally, for a chocolate honeycomb, pipe a generous amount of chocolate onto clean bubble wrap and spread evenly. Allow to harden and break into large chunks. Grab some Hershey's chocolate and try some of these techniques to turn any dessert gourmet. Welcome back, everybody. Don't you love those ideas with garnishing with chocolate? I really hope you'll try that. We'd love for you to post things on Instagram to let us know what you're doing and what you're learning on the VeryVera Show. So we've done 2 savory recipes with Hershey. Now we're going to do the traditional sweet and do a stout cake. And you know, honestly, I was a little hesitant about this because the cake has beer in it, but oh my goodness, it is delicious. So what we've gone ahead and done is I've got my dry ingredients in my KitchenAid bowl. Flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt already mixed together. And the stout mixture is really interesting. It's butter, stout beer, and cocoa that I put on top of the stove. You just let the butter and the stout get good and warm, just to a simmer. Then I added the cocoa in and mixed it all together. So that's ready to go. Now I'm gonna do my egg and sour cream mixture. So I'm gonna add my eggs to my mixing bowl, kind of give those a whirl. And then the sour cream will get added to that. And this is just a really fluffy batter, full of flavor, needless to say. And if you like a cake that's not overly sweet, but is rich, and if you love chocolate, you're really gonna love this recipe. All right. So now, once this is really combined, we're gonna add that to the stout mixture. Looks just right. All right, so let me bring this over. And then I'm just gonna pour this in. And you know, it really, you might mess up a few pans doing this, but honestly, it is so worth it in the end. The texture of this cake is just fantastic. And like I said, that stout flavor with the chocolate is incredible. All right, so I'm gonna add this now all at once to this flour mixture. I tell you, this is when these big bowls on these KitchenAid mixers come in really handy. Put my beater back on. Lock that down. And this is just gonna mix around until, as you can see, it's getting pretty thick there. And I've already prepared my pans. The parchment circles are really easy to do. If you don't already have those, you can cut these quickly out of either parchment paper or wax paper. And then I've used my Baker's Joy to get the edges and also the parchment paper good and done. So all I'm doing here is just getting it just really mixed together. And then, as I said, I've got my pans prepared. So I want to go down to the bottom and make sure that that's evenly distributed. And it looks like it is. So now I'm going to put this batter in these 3 prepared pans. All right, we've got those layers in the oven and they already smell amazing. And this is the ganache that's gonna go on top. So ordinarily your recipe would tell you to do this in a double boiler, but because I have the Wolf induction cooktop, I don't have to worry about that. The simmer feature works so well. I'm gonna add my Hershey's chips in. And also cleanup is easy, which I'm gonna need to do right there. So you're just gonna stir this until it's melted through. Once it's melted all the way, I'm gonna add my vanilla. And when we come back from the break, you're not gonna believe this beautiful presentation and a giveaway, so come back. You know, my mama always said you shouldn't be bragging about your stuff, but I have to tell you, I'm so excited about the recipes that we did today. You know, Hershey is one of our really great sponsors. We've put together 3 recipes today that are just phenomenal. We've got an appetizer, a main dish, and a dessert, so you have no excuse not to go to that website at veryvera.com, download these recipes, and try them. So let's start with this appetizer, which you can plate or serve as a past appetizer. So we've got a bacon wrapped date that is stuffed with cream cheese and pecans and a little bit of almond extract. It's a 2-bite portion, which is perfect for a past appetizer, but then 3 on a plate for a presented appetizer is also really, really good. Then for our entree, we have got the rub that we did today with 6 different ingredients. You know, you can really smell the smoked paprika, the cumin, the Hershey's cocoa, for heaven's sakes, in that rub. We learned about cooking those chicken thighs slow and low. You look at that crispy top on there. And then we've served it with a little bit of asparagus that we went through the steps of doing the blanching, the cold ice bath. That bright, brilliant green is as green as the placemat underneath it. It just looks really, really good. And then finally, our dessert, the chocolate stout cake made with stout beer. It is just remarkable the way it looks in the inside when you cut it, that really nice thickness. And then the ganache I was finishing as we went out of our last segment. And just as in terms of using it, the way we've iced this cake today, it would get a little bit thicker than this as it cools down. And you can literally pour that. As you can see, we didn't even finish icing this cake. But if you wanted to do a traditional icing on it, as it cools, it gets nice and thick. And so you've got that consistency also to finish off the cake. And in Vera's Corner today, we learned some really unique opportunities for using chocolate as a garnish, and we've done the swirl right here on our slice of cake. So all of this together makes for a beautiful spring presentation, just an overall look that's great for anything that you might be doing this spring and summer. So I really hope that you'll try these recipes. And so just in general, speaking to Hershey and this company, you know, when you look at this Hershey's cocoa can in your cabinet, and I know all of you have this in your cabinet, not to mention the Hershey's Kisses that we've scattered around on our presentation today, you know, it is an enormous company. You came right into that town without smelling chocolate. Was founded in 1894, and you know, for me, a small business owner, a female entrepreneur, to have a company like this that stands behind me, I cannot tell you how much it means to me. So the next time you're grocery shopping for something that calls for chocolate, I want you to think about that. Think about the fact that this man started this company in his home kitchen, and look at where this company is today. It really means a lot to me that they have trusted VeryVera and the VeryVera Show. So the giveaway today is a 5-pound bar of Hershey's chocolate. So we want you to go to Instagram and Facebook to learn more about how to enter this contest. You're gonna have to be doing some working out if you win this, but it is amazing. And I want to also say that I love running into our fans when I'm out and about. I was in Beaufort and Indianapolis recently. So remember, no matter what you do it in good taste and come back with me next week.